Hello, church. So here's our devotional for Tuesday, September 16th. Sorry to miss you yesterday. Barb and I were up at the cabin and a lot of yard work to happen and a lot of yard work still to go. But had a good time up there and back now. We are in Psalm 104, a reminder that this is one of the Psalms like 103 that uses bless the Lord, O my soul. And we talked about it being paired together. We're really focused on, in Psalm 104, God's creation and all the creatures as a part of God's reign and God's kingdom. So we'll continue that a little bit for this go round. James Mays did not get into it that I saw, but one of the funnest parts of this section for me is the mention of Leviathan. And it's a kind of mythic sea monster. They're really uplifting it in scripture as a recognition of even unknown creatures that God brought forth, as well as those things that we don't know and understand in that time period or now. So we'll start with our NRSV for this third section, and then tomorrow we'll be finishing up with our fourth and final. O Lord, how manifold are your works. In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. Yonder is the sea, great and wide. Creeping things innumerable are there, living things both small and great. There go the ships and Leviathan that you formed to sport in it. These all look to you to give them food in due season. When you give to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are filled with good things. When you hide your face, they are dismayed. When you take away their breath, they die and return to their dust. When you send forth your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the ground. And specifically, Mays is going to pick up on a great Hebrew word called ruach. And that's the normally interpreted as breath or breath of the Lord in this context. The third section, verses 24 to 30, makes two observations about the creatures that seem to sum up the preceding review. The first is an exclamation of amazement at how many creatures the Lord in wisdom has made. The second observation is a recognition of the absolute dependence of all creatures, including humanity, upon the Lord for food and for life itself. Nourishment by the products of the environment is the gift of God. The rhythm of life and death and the appearance of new life is the effect of the relation between the breath, ruach, of creatures and the breath, ruach, of the Lord. The notion that what animates creatures is the life-bringing breath of God is behind these verses, but the poet is careful not to identify the creaturely with the divine ruach. The creature's breath is given and taken away by God. On the other hand, the breath of God is sent by God to create living creatures and to renew the earth with life. When new creation occurs and life appears, the ruach of the Lord is at work. Reminder, I did not take Hebrew in seminary. If my pronunciation is off, apologies. And please feel free to give a corrective in there. And then here's our section from Eugene Peterson's The Message. Excuse me. What a wildly wonderful world, God. You made it all, with wisdom at your side, made earth overflow with your wonderful creations. Oh, look, the deep, wide sea brimming with fish past counting, sardines and sharks and salmon. Ships plow those waters, and Leviathan, your pet dragon, romps in them. All the creatures look expectantly to you to give them their meals on time. You come and they gather around. You open your hand and they eat from it. If you turned your back, they die in a minute. Take back your spirit and they die, revert to original mud. Send out your spirit and they spring to life. The whole countryside in bloom and blossom. Some good images in there. Let me also point out the alliteration that Peterson uses. What a wildly wonderful, what a wildly wonderful world, God, which hits those. And also he hits it again as he's getting into the fish, sardines, and sharks and salmon. So just a neat poetic piece of there. I also love that with the Leviathan, your dragon romps in it, and this image of play, which we had previously. The word is translated as sport, and which Mace commented on. So that's our devotional for Tuesday. We will catch you again on Wednesday as we finish up Psalm 104. Have a great one and bless the Lord.